Hello and welcome to Needing a Meeting. My name is Carol. I will be your host today. How's everybody doing? Hi, Tony B. Not Tony. Hi, Tony B. No Talk Tony. Sandy Wandy. Matrix Rabbit. How are you guys doing? Good to see ya. Wait till some more people get in here, but maybe not. I'll go ahead and get started on it. I'll probably have to say it 2 or 3 more times. It's okay. I have a little bit of sadness of my own making going on. I sold the last puppy today. I was thinking seriously about holding on to the last one, but it's a lady who had reached out to me a while back. And I just thought, okay, well, let's see what happens when she shows up. So she did with her 96-year-old mom. Wow. I mean, walking around with no walker. And, at first Luce just kind of a little bit shy. And, but when she got in there with her, she, hi, Archie's mom. Good to see ya. She, sniffed her and going back to her. Instead of coming to me, she'd go to the lady. The lady has a sanctuary, an animal sanctuary.
Aww.
Dog to critter goats. She's just lost 2, one of them to cancer and one of them to this weird fungus thing that causes internal organs to necrotize. And
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Oh, poor things.
Yeah.
But they got Lucy?
Yeah.
Oh, how are you feeling?
Sad.
I bet.
Yeah.
Kind of had your heart set on keeping her, didn't you?
Yes, but with the size operation we have going here, there's hardly any justifying having 3 guard dogs. Barely justify having the 2. It'll be more justifiable when I can get a fence that'll hold a dog on the other side.
Yes. Right now it would be an added stress and an added expense.
Yeah. And there's a certain number of dogs where it gets to be a little bit of a pack going on.
Yeah.
And I didn't need a pack.
No.
So.
No. Wow.
But the puppy kept going up to her instead of me when she came out to meet her. So.
Oh, it's meant to be then. It's meant to be.
Yeah.
Oh.
And she didn't seem stressed about going to the car or anything like that. Now, Mom and Daddy, on the other hand, that was another story.
They were freaking out a bit?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're a little sad, little forlorn looking right now. I can see them out the window right now.
Aww.
I know.
Probably what I only dealt with puppies once, and it took Mom a couple of weeks before she was completely okay after the last one.
Yeah.
After the last one left.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it may take them a minute. Hey, Heather.
Yeah.
Hi, Tara. I surely can share the link. Love to.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I was saying. Sadness of my own making.
But it's natural, you've raised them. You've raised them until now.
Yeah. And there are 6 amazing puppies out there that are going to be great guard dogs. And they went to great families and people are really good about. So, hey, Tara.
Exactly.
We'll give her a minute.
Hi.
Hi.
For some reason, my camera can't be on. Hey, I'm going to leave and come back. My camera, I think I need to reboot my browser to get my camera to work.
Okay.
So, how are you doing?
I'm all right. A little meh. Still waiting, still trying to figure things out, but I'm doing everything that I can, and I have to remind myself that. Yeah. I got another set of brains put on trying to find a place. I got that news early this afternoon.
Okay.
I'm actually going to maybe do a little interview too, so we'll see how
I
that
saw
goes once I
that.
get. Yeah.
I did. Yeah, I was on the
So
boat this morning. Yeah.
I'm kind of excited about that. Of course, a little bit nervous. Like
Mhm.
I usually get a little starstruck when he comes on here, but but we had a little phone conversation and that kind of eased it. And then the advice
Okay.
of like just not paying attention to chat. Then it
Yeah.
feels more like just a video call and you're sitting, having a conversation. So that's probably what I'm going to do. Like for here, I keep my laptop open, but I probably won't have it open for that. Just
Okay.
make it a little easier on my brain.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So that's fun and nerve-wracking, but
Yeah.
fun. It's a little fun in all of the meh feeling right now, which is muchly appreciated,
Right on.
honestly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also, as I said, sorry, we have an extra set of brains put on the trying to find a place. I don't know how well that's gonna work. I see Steve. Hi, Steve.
Oh,
He's
it's
behind
back
you in the
there.
kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how much that's gonna help, but any help is appreciated,
Yeah.
especially when they're in that area. They deal with the situations. So it's like,
Oh.
so then it's at least people who have knowledge, and especially in that area, it makes me feel a little bit more at ease. Whether it's going to help or not, I don't know, but I feel
Right.
a little bit at ease. So
Well,
that
good.
I'm going to say is help.
Hey, we'll take all the help we can get.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, this is one of those times, these tedious times of just waiting and not having answers necessarily that
Yeah.
are the most dangerous to sobriety.
Yeah. That the feeling of I don't want to feel, that I've been struggling with a little bit lately, and that's my
Yeah.
cycle. I don't want to feel, so I use, and then
Mhm.
I get mad and angry and like ashamed and guilty that I used, and then it's the feeling again, and that's my cycle.
Yeah.
So I can't say that I've had any cravings, but I'm recognizing what cycle I was in, and I'm trying to work on the feeling versus
Yeah.
push it away.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole point, is that these uncomfortable feelings that we've been, ducking and running from, and hiding from, and whatever it is we did,
Yeah,
we learn to feel them and be okay with
exactly.
feeling them, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And then
Yeah.
also, the feeling that I had mentioned on the boat this morning of like feeling stagnant. I didn't really realize that that was also a feeling within that cycle
Mhm.
until until the boat this morning. It was like, oh, okay. This feeling is bringing some of these uncomfortable feelings. Now, therefore, I don't want to feel this feeling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had
So,
something I was gonna say. Hopefully it'll come back to me. Um, but not only being okay with feeling them, just being able to deal with feeling them
yeah.
is a whole new set of skills that we get to learn.
Yeah.
And I can relate a lot with you, Stacia, in terms of having done all this work. You're like spinning your wheels, you're turning every stone, you're like trying to find a place to be.
Yeah.
You're like, that's what I went through, trying to find a place, trying to make it work, trying to make anything happen. And at some point, it's like I exhausted all of the possible routes. And then it's just a matter of waiting. And that is when it hits me. You're talking about being stagnant. It's like, yeah, when I've done all the work and it's just a waiting game at that point, that is when the cravings, if I experience them, hit, because I'm not doing anything. It's like I want to do something. I wanted to do drugs. I'll be honest,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Same here. Same here. Yeah. Yeah. I'm
Archie's mom,
grateful. Oh, go ahead.
struggling with sleeping cravings, dreaming about using a lot. That's like Oh,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
I remember those. It's been a while since I've had one of those, but yeah, it's like a sex dream.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
mm.
Essentially. It's a dopamine drop, right? Yeah. I'm
Oh, go ahead.
grateful I haven't struggled too much recently with them, but I don't know. Meditations have been helping me a lot right before bed. And I don't
Good.
know if I can credit meditation solely or if it's work that I've done, but I'm finding that meditations help a lot because then my
Right on.
brain is slower before bed.
Right
If I
on.
can suggest anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious. I'm wondering if I can get some clarification on this comment because I'm a little confused and I want to understand. So, is there struggling with sleeping and cravings and then dreaming, or is the struggle with just during sleeping that they're having cravings and dreaming about it? I'm curious about that because would have different thoughts depending on like if they're all, are they like, is this person struggling with sleeping and they're having cravings and waking hours and having using dreams? I'm curious about that. One thing I do want to share and add to what Stasia said is that I think using dreams are normal and a healthy part of our brain processing the recovery
Mhm.
phase, like
Yeah.
or especially early phases. I don't know if using dreams ever really go away based on what I've heard people talk about in meetings and such.
Yeah.
But
I know I've had one in the last few years. They become
Okay.
less frequent the further away you get from it,
Mhm.
but they do happen,
Mhm. Yeah,
especially
and
if I'm thinking about it a lot, you know?
or if I'm feeling unstable in any way, I
Mhm.
notice the using dreams will sneak up.
Yeah, yeah. Archie's
Gotcha.
mom's I was told in rehab and throughout all these years when we dream about it, it is our body's way of saying, "Hey, what's up? Don't you wanna?" And it's saying you are getting over it. Next level. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Mm,
Right on.
mm,
And she's responded just during sleep, not much awake, more mad about it when I wake up.
Oh, yeah.
mm. It's scary when you
Oh,
wake
yeah.
up, especially in that in-between phase. We're like, what did I just do? You
Yeah,
know?
Yeah.
I
yeah,
think I think what's going on during the dream is really important. It's like, were you actually getting loaded and enjoying it? Or like in my using dreams, the most recent ones, it's been a while, but the most recent one, I almost was going to do it, but I decided not to. And
yeah,
that to
Oh,
me felt like progress,
yeah.
yeah.
being around it, making the choice not to. That's
Mhm.
information for me. So
Yeah,
I think that they can actually be useful too.
right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of mine have been, you know, almost like it's trying to force its way into me, and I'm saying, "No, no, 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 no,"
Mm-hmm.
oddly.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's been the most frequently had one.
Yeah. Yeah. I can say that I've had some of those, but for me, it's also the behavioral side that I'm starting to realize the addiction to behavior, other people's behavior in my case. So I've been having dreams of that behavior in person, and it's when I wake up, I'm angry. I'm angry because I'm like, no, I'm done. I don't need
Yeah.
this. I don't want this. And sometimes I wake up and it's like, is this reality or was that reality? Like
Mm.
it's so vivid that I almost can't tell which
Right.
one was reality.
Yeah. Yeah. They are. They're that vivid. It's
Mhm.
it's it's I guess it's just a brain glitch that we created when we got tangled up in it. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, but I think I agree with Tara. It's the process.
Yeah.
It's what we have to go through to kind of
Yeah.
work through it all. And I think with addictions, it's especially if you have that gene,
Yeah.
it's instead of just being somebody who can occasionally use and drop it whenever, but if you've got that gene, it's something that's with you forever.
Yeah.
You're not just going to be able to drop it. It's something that is going to pop its ugly head every so often,
Yes, it is.
no matter
No
how long
matter
you've been
how long.
sober.
30 years here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still have to grapple with it. Not nearly as much as I did in those early years, but I still do.
Yeah. My goodness.
Yeah. And it's okay, it's good to be mindful. It's good to be, aware that, it can sneak up on us at any time and we have a
Mhm.
choice.
Mhm.
And we can choose to say, okay, yeah, this is not, I want to drink, I want to use. It's not a comfortable feeling, but it's not going to kill me. I'll be okay. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah. And then my cycle starts. I don't like the feeling. It's like,
Yeah.
why do you need to bring the feeling, Dream? Come on, please. Just give me a break. Just give me a break.
Right on. Glad it was helpful, Archie's mom. Yeah. Eh, one of those unpleasant consequences. Always an addict, regardless of active or recovering. Yeah. I mean, yes, you know, we weren't much more than an addict if we were really, really like I wasn't much more than an addict when I was at my final stages. But, we certainly get to be in touch with being more. And that's just a teeny tiny little piece of us. But it is a piece of us nonetheless.
Mhm. Mhm.
What do y'all think about, so there's the 5 stages of recovery, right? You're familiar with that?
I don't know.
Okay, so there's pre-contemplation, contemplation, action, maintenance, and then extinction. And not everybody considers extinction part of their recovery. Like AA definitely doesn't. It's like they're like once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic.
Okay.
You have to go to meetings for the rest of your life. So step 5 in the 5 phases is not a part of the AA or 12-step model.
Okay.
Okay.
But in peer support recovery training, or peer support specialist training, sorry, some states call it peer recovery, and it's got me twisted lately. Anyways, in training, we learn about the 5 stages, and some people consider themselves to be recovered. And that's their right to be able to make that decision that I used to have a problem, I've recovered, I'm now recovered. And some people will even go as far, I'm not condoning this, I really don't know how I feel about it. So that's what my question is to you all. Some people have gone as far as to say, I'm recovered, I can do XYZ normally now. I can have a drink, just one drink normally. I can do XYZ normally. What do y'all think about that?
That's one that for a long time I was just like, no, it doesn't work like that. But I mean, it may have been that they had a problem that was just on the verge of becoming an addiction, and they nipped it in the bud when they saw it being a problem.
Mhm.
And, it could have been circumstantial, just a perfect storm of different things going on in their lives that made them drink or use a little heavier, and if they can go back to it and be normal about it and just, not be off on a moving, wrecking train, then great. I mean, and that's just what it is, though, what you said earlier. It's like, it's for each person to decide.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. I think it would be a slippery slope for me personally, but who knows? Maybe one day. I aspire to be as lucky. It's like, oh, of course I want to have a drink. Of course I want to be able to take a walk on the beach with a friend and light up a spliff or something like that. But I don't know that I'll ever want to put myself in that position. And that's kind of where the decision lies for me.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I was 15 years clean off of hard drugs until they came back into my life.
Okay.
And I don't, with that relapse and where I am now, I don't think extinction for me exists. Because no matter how solid I thought I was, I couldn't say no.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't say no. Every ounce of my being wanted to,
Yeah.
but I couldn't say no. So I don't think extinction is, for me, is a part of my recovery cycle. Because no matter how many years clean I was, like that was just hard drugs. I still drank and I still smoked a lot of pot in that period at a time, but that was just hard drugs. And then at that point, it was like, now I've got this kerfuffle of everything that I'm using. So no, but
You
just
know,
for me.
and I think you can fully recover too, Heather. You know, and it really just comes down to each person has to define what that is for themselves.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
What recovery,
Whether
what recovery is to them, and where they are with it.
and
Yeah.
are they going to invite that substance of choice in the future? That's like next level recovered extinction stuff where I'm just like, I can't even think about that. That gives me anxiety just even thinking about inviting that in. So, but that's just me.
Right on.
I've
Keep
been
trying.
working a little bit on going out to places where there is alcohol. So maybe not parties, but restaurants. I've gone to like a resto pub and I've gone to a sushi place now. And sushi
Wow.
places is usually where I'm like drinking sake and I'm having,
That's right.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But both places had amazing mocktails. Amazing mocktails. So, and they had like
Oh,
a full menu. It was like specialty mocktails. I'm like, well, this is what I'm doing and this is wonderful. And I
yeah.
was like, thank you for catering to me.
Yeah. I mean, there is something about having a mocktail
Yeah.
that is reminiscent, but not in a dangerous way, at least not for me.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
there's something about that sitting at a table, ordering a dinner and having that beverage with it. It's
Exactly.
it makes it feel like it's a special occasion,
Yep.
you know, those things. And I love that the mocktails did it for me as far as that, you know, getting to indulge in that feeling of, you know, feeling a little
Mhm.
posh,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
little adult.
Exactly. That was my thought. I'm like, I want to feel like an adult again.
Yeah. I keep telling myself that I only abuse vodka so I could drink beer and whiskey, but I think that's just my addiction talking. You know, everybody knows what they have inside,
Mhm.
and everybody has to learn their limits their own way, you know. I uh I almost feel like I cheated part of the process since I didn't relapse and really learn, you know, where my actual lines are. I was just too scared because I did come really close to not to offing myself with it because I was just down to like a size 0 or size 2, and it just I wasn't going to be a healthy user. I was just coffee, cookies, drinking, coffee, cookies, drinking, and whatever came with whatever happened to be around, you know.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to be one of those that said no, you know.
No. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like I can't even say it's peer pressure. It's just, it's inside of me. I don't want to say no. I
Yeah.
know how it feels.
Yeah.
At least that first one after a really long time when
Yeah.
your tolerance, that's the word I'm looking for. Your tolerance is diminished completely.
Mhm.
No, I can't say no. So that's where for me, I don't think extinction is a part of my cycle
Mm-hmm.
because I know I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll be honest here. I have a fantasy that I'll get to extinction and be able to engage normally.
Yeah.
But will I actually ever put myself in that position? I'm undecided. My nurse practitioner told me that she thinks one day I will be able to use marijuana responsibly. And this totally threw me for a loop. I was like, huh? And for weeks, I walked around like, oh my God, am I ever going to get high again? Oh my God, can I get high again? Oh my God, oh my God. And
Yeah.
now
Yeah.
it's been several
Yeah, if
months
it
since.
sends you into a spin, it's a pretty good sign. Best go the opposite direction.
Not yet. That was my nurse practitioner's only ask for me, is that it
Okay.
could be something that I engage with in the future, but not yet. it's not the time. I have so much I need to accomplish first. But again, I haven't made the decision. I've decided to not make it. I've decided to abstain for now. And then if I ever get to the point where I feel comfortable making that decision, I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. But I had to kind of like shut that part of my thinking down because it was kind of messing with me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see how it would do that fully. Yeah.
Wow, Misha. Used to say people, places, things. Yeah. I had to stay away from it. Now I face it daily as if I'm using myself constantly around it. It is killing me. I face that rig every other hour. It's as if let's see, where is that? Where have I got that highlighted from? I can't find it. Okay, here we go. I'm constantly going through the recovery without the drugs being there. I hate it. That's, I'll tell you, that's one thing about certain mindsets when it comes to recovery. Is there a reason it has to suck? I mean, really and truly, rehab for me sucked balls. And it was also part of why I never relapsed. I never wanted to go through that again.
Right. Yep.
So, if there is no enjoyment in life, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's a tough place. It is. That's a tough one.
Especially the early recovery. Like you're talking about rehab and kind of getting comfortable with not having the substances there and having it be shocking. I didn't go to rehab, but my form of rehab was being placed at a safe house. And I lived there for a year and had to be clean and sober there. So that was like it was like a rehab variety show or something like that. But I don't ever want to go back to that place either.
Yeah. I don't consider myself recovered, but I can these days enjoy recreational gambling in a tiny way. If my emotional equilibrium is in a good place, I can go months between having a flutter, but half, where's the rest of it? Half of my headspace, if bad, then I am likely to fall into the addiction phase again. These days, my awareness is so much better that I am at much less risk of going from fun gambling to problem gambling. Okay. Yeah. And that's, I mean, everybody has to define what recovery is to them for themselves. At the end of the day, you're the only one that's in the room with it, Let's see, what else have we got here? I don't know if I have noticed. Let's see. Oh, funny. I don't know if I have noticed, but Carol and Tara look a lot alike. They also have similar mannerisms. They have this little thing they do where they hold up their right hand. Oh, funny.
Yeah, I laughed when I saw that too.
Similar
I took
thing.
it as a compliment. I was like, that's a nice compliment.
That is
you.
a very nice compliment.
When I read it, I realized I can't unsee it now. You're both Carol.
I'll take it.
Let's see. Archie's mom. I quit and relapsed every day for almost 20 years until the last time, almost 3 years ago. Every day for almost 20 years.
I'm almost at 3 years too. On next Tuesday, this upcoming Tuesday, it'll be 3 years.
This upcoming one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Less than a week.
You'll have to come back so that Carol can put on Mama's tiara.
I have to see the tiara. Yes, I have to see the. I hope I can make it. I'm gonna do my best to make it.
Right on. And if you can't make it that day, whenever you come back, we'll totally celebrate.
Right on. Right on.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Just found out my daughter's therapist told her that she has been known to double up on her ADHD medicine when things were really stressful
Ooh,
or she had
dang.
much to do. I'm so angry. What do many of us have addicts do? Self-medicate? She is
Mm,
basically telling my daughter to self-medicate. Today, my kid is going for her last GED test. She stayed up all night. My youngest said her eyes were dilated. I'm scared to death that now my oldest, who has never used,
mm,
is now self-medicating.
wow.
That's hard
Mhm.
because, there comes a point when they're grown-ups, you know,
Yeah.
that is hard. My last night of drinking was when I drank an entire night while dancing. My friends tell me I drank over 20 shots and never wobbled on my 3-inch heels. That scared me so much I had gone that far. My last night. Whoo, yeah. Wow. You built up quite a tolerance there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Can I chime in and backtrack on Ned's comment or Misha's comment? I call
Yeah.
Misha Ned. I'm curious if she's talked to her prescriber about that, Misha, because if her therapist, I'm assuming that her therapist, or I think, yeah, her daughter's therapist is different from her prescriber. And it seems outside of the scope of the therapist's practice to be able to say double up on your ADHD medication. It's like that. If that's not how it's prescribed, that's a huge red flag to me in terms of the ethics of
S
the therapists and the advice that she's giving.
So it was on the advice of the therapist?
That's what
I
I understood. Misha,
Okay.
correct me if I'm wrong. I understood it to be
Yeah.
that her prescriber and her therapist are two separate people. And I think that's a problem that the therapist is suggesting to use her medication in a different way than it was prescribed.
Yeah, that's not good. I think my childhood was my rehab. I watched my great-grandmother dry out from drinking in my house. That was so scary. I had to watch my mom go through DTs, recovering from open heart surgery at age 82. She survived. I don't know how, but they would not leave her alone for a second. There was always somebody in the ICU room with her, medical professional of some kind, which was pretty remarkable. But,
Mhm.
that was so dangerous and so scary. Whew.
I could only imagine.
When I stopped hard. The only thing that is saving me, Misha, is the fact that my drug doesn't exist now. I'm really worried that if it somehow came back around, I would be gone. Even worse is seeing the person who uses in my life getting the bad stuff
Mm,
and being there when it happens. That's not good, Misha.
mm-mm.
No.
That's
No.
not good.
Yeah, is that something that you're okay with? Because it
It's
doesn't
not
sound like
good.
it is.
No.
Yes, agreed with Plant Freak here. That is a dangerous place for her to be. Do you think you can make a plan with her if it gets out of hand? I do not know if it is called recovery. It's called living with daily fear. Yeah, and that's real, and it's
Mhm.
valid. It's a valid fear, especially if it almost killed you. If you like I woke up, out of my fog realizing I was lucky to have been alive to make it to that point. I really was not that far away from death's door, and I realized that.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Gordo. Hi, Bruce. The Carol Burnett Show. Carol.
And even like just talking about the prescribed drugs, even like Misha's situation with her daughter, there's the two
Mhm.
situations going on, but
Yeah.
the situation with her daughter, I'm hoping, that they can have a good conversation about it, because I sat down, and as much as I didn't really have somebody right near me, but I talked to Carol and Christy, and I had said, I have Ativan. They have prescribed me Ativan, and I'm terrified. I am completely and utterly terrified because I'm using it daily right now. If I don't use it daily, I'm having panic attacks. But now I'm at the point where there was 30 prescribed and I've still got 12 left. And that was in November.
Right on.
So, it can't, as long as the willpower is there, I know
Mhm.
that, and it's just being used as a crutch. But if she's getting anything off of that feeling,
Yeah.
because with that second pill, it's dilating her pupils. She's feeling different. She's not sleeping. That's the dangerous part to me.
That is. I gave up smoking in 1996. I believe if I took it up again, I would struggle big time and would be at huge risk of relapse. I am very aware that each form of addiction takes a different path for me. That's a good awareness to have, like a million.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right on.
Something for me to
Well,
contemplate too. So thank you.
that's great. Mine is the 21st of June. I hope we get to celebrate it with you, Archer's mom. I hope you'll come by and let us celebrate with you. Get Mama's tiara going. I just found out, this is from Misha or Ned. I just found out from my youngest right before this live started. She and I are going to try talking with her, depending on the outcome of the test anyways. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. It would be good to not let that just not go unaddressed.
Mm-hmm.
Misha, I was told that I could take an additional dose if things were bad, maybe something like that.
Yeah, and I saw Misha's comment about it being the prescriber and the therapist being the same person. So that's a different story. I retract
Okay.
my previous comment, because if it's the same person, then I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional. So I would trust what they said.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't think that falls into the category of self-medicating either, because they're using it as prescribed.
Yeah.
The therapist is the prescriber. My kid respects her.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's the comment.
Well, hopefully she will be honest with her therapist about the effects and check in with her on that to see if that could be border on getting into abuse. Because you can abuse prescribed drugs just as much as you can abuse street drugs.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's see. Gonna mostly be lurking today. Well, I'm glad you're lurking, Miss Sunrise Dawn. I'm so glad your kitty is better. I'm so
Yay!
happy about that. Every 2 hours? Is that how it's supposed to be taken?
That's for the other situation.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, not for ADHD then.
Not the ADHD one. This is the other one, being close to the rig. Every couple of hours is when it's being used.
Misha.
Oh, dang. That would be really hard for me.
Misha. That is not a healthy place to be, sweetheart.
Mm-mm.
That worries me.
Mm-hmm. Because at one point for me, it was every 2 hours, and then it turned into every hour and a half, and then every hour. And that wasn't okay for me. I wasn't okay with it when I was doing it either, but I couldn't stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
I certainly couldn't be around that
No
today.
way. And there is no way to have a healthy interaction with somebody when that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And so where's recovery?
Yeah.
It
Questioning,
sounds
recovering constantly.
right. It sounds like, well, on the person using it sounds like pre-contemplation, like they're not even but Mish is in a different universe right now. That would be really triggering for me
It would be,
personally.
yeah, it would be
Oh yeah.
tough. I know
Oh
I have to
yeah.
stay away from casinos, and I won't stop unless made to. Right on. Yeah. Any behavior can become an addiction, just and as destructive as any substance, you know? Two separate people I'm talking to right now, by the way. Sorry if it's confusing. It is for me too. I'm sure it is, Misha. Lord have mercy. Is there something that you would allow us to do to help you?
Mm.
Because that worries me. Like a lot. Get in touch with me after the meeting. I want to see if there's something that we can do to help you. I use Valium once a week so I can leave the house. Okay, Heather. Yeah. We also have our other things that we have to deal with in addition to substance, if that's where we come from, Those things don't go away. The things that we were trying to self-medicate around, and it's really hard watching my son drink and party. The fear is so real. I talk to him and he has people who watch him. So at least he is being watched, but I do not fully trust other people. Yeah. Yeah, because they're probably doing it too. And don't, and it's not their job to, manage somebody else's whatever they're doing. Think that is what she is taking. Her mom and dad both have addictions to speed. Goodness.
Yeah, that's hard when you
But
see it modeled. It's like so normal. I'm in the same, not with my mom, but with my dad. I watched his behavior and made me want to do it. I wanted to be just like him.
oh,
And it felt good.
yeah.
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 I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not suggesting that. I'm just
Yeah.
saying
No.
it makes sense.
It's understandable.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And to be honest, until you had mentioned that, I never really tried to think of that or assess that in my life. And my favorite family member was an alcoholic and used many, many different substances.
Mm.
And I looked up to that human being for
Yeah.
a really long time. So thank you. Kind of gave me two things tonight I got a journal about from this meeting.
What was the other one?
The other one was I can't remember who had said, I think it was Archie's mom. I could be wrong, but she had said that there was different triggers for the different substances. And I'm like, see, I never assessed that. I just assessed it as one whole big trigger,
Right.
Interesting.
Let's see here. I'm finishing the laundry and I'm listening. Thanks, y'all. He's being a little feisty cat, self and hiding from me. I need to find him and give him his meds. LOL.
Cute.
Giving a cat a pill. Yay. One of the most
Never
fun
fun.
things you can ever do. I have personally spoken to her therapist. We did a 3-way call session. I mentioned it, but not heavily stressed. Okay. It worries me too. Plus, I don't get as much sleep as I need. I can't do anything. It's like I'm still in an addict addiction without being to use. Sounds miserable, Misha.
Sounds like a dry drum.
Oh my God, it does. That sounds terrible.
Mhm.
Awful place to be. No wonder you've been under so much stress lately, Misha. My goodness. Hey, Ben.
Hey, Ben.
Hola! That's my
Did you
cat.
bring the bacon?
I did not bring bacon.
Man.
Although, just saying that makes me want candied bacon.
May need to be heavily stressed so
Oh,
that
my
they
normal.
understand what could happen. I do that for my daughter. Her therapist is very aware of my issues, and dad has substance things
So sweet
too.
substance.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, substance typo.
Yeah. I try not to tell her she's going to be an addict, because I don't think that is always the case. I don't think that two addicts breed an addict. I don't think that is 100% the case. But I am concerned. And so I need to make sure that her professionals are at least aware of it, especially because of me personally. Like, again, her dad's issues aren't as bad as mine, but they're still there.
Yeah.
So he's witnessing some legal things in Canada being used, but that was a gateway for me. So it's my concern, and I try to put it on the professionals versus her.
Yeah. Right on.
I also think that pegging someone else, whether you're a professional or not, pegging someone else as an addict can be really harmful. I think if someone wants to identify as that on their own, then that's a different story. But my perspective on the word addict these days is that, like, let somebody use that word for themselves. Don't call somebody else that.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just, again, my perspective.
Yeah.
It
No,
would be like diagnosing, right?
It's like how AA teaches. As one thing about AA that I agree with is that we can't say that other people are alcoholics or not. It's appropriate to say they drink heavily or something, but like only the person, the individual themselves
knows.
can say whether or not they're an alcoholic or
That's
an
right.
addict.
And it can be really an unhealthy thing to do, to try to figure out somebody else's level of addiction or whether there is one, or and it's a, I don't know, I went through this thing early in my recovery where I was they're an addict, they're an addict, they're an I was, because I was around it constantly. I was going to meetings almost every day, sometimes more than one a day, because I just didn't have anything else going on, and I had to nip that in the bud and leave that to God, so to speak.
Yes.
Not my place. And I'm glad I realized that. It helped me. Wonderful tribe of awesome people right here. I agree, Heather. We got some good people here. It sounds like, not really that I can think of. I just don't know. I can't leave. I feel like I'm a slave to the crap. Where did I? It worries me too. Plus, I don't get as much sleep as I need. I can't do anything. It's like I am still an addiction without being able to use, if that makes sense. It makes total sense. Not really anything that I can think of. I just don't know. I can't leave. I feel like I'm a slave to the crap. Can't be myself fully. No, you can't. And feel like a hypocrite. I can appreciate where those feelings are coming from. I really can. I really can.
So hard. It's so hard.
Miss Shaw. Yes, you can get a link. Let me get you one.
I may have already put it in.
Okay. I'll put it in again just to make sure.
Yeah, put it in again to be safe, because it's my first time trying to do it with a wrench. So
it looks like it went through.
Okay. All right. Also, to non-addicts, Miss Sunrise Dawn, also 2 non-addicts can have an addict offspring. It's true. Neither of us
Mhm.
are addicts, but here I am. There are other addicts in the family, though. Yeah. It is a slippery slope, Ms. D. Very, very, very much so. One of my friends smokes ½ ounce of pot a day. I have no idea how he does that.
Man,
Well, that was me.
I wish I could. Yeah, me too. I wish.
It was
I wish.
me. Oh,
I
man.
don't really mean that. I don't really wish, but like I do at the same time, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I wish, like what you had said earlier, I wish I could take a walk on the beach with a friend and light a spliff, but that
Yes.
spliff will turn into like 4 grams in like the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Me too. Me too.
I've come from a long line of addicts, but I know plenty of people whose folks never touched a cigarette. Right on, Archie's mom. Yeah. They come in all shapes, sizes, forms, backgrounds, creeds, walks of life. Yeah. Addiction doesn't play any kind of favorite. It doesn't have any kind of favorite person. It'll pick who is indiscriminately as, you know, it seems rather random sometimes who gets nabbed with an addiction.
I think if there's trauma in the history, then I think addiction loves trauma.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Especially
Oh yeah.
unprocessed trauma in particular.
Yeah. Big time. Yeah. There is this weird, for lack of a better word, psychodrama that you play out repeatedly. This weird dance you do with the trauma when you're drinking and you're using. And it's not healthy.
Mm-mm. It's almost like a hall pass. Subconsciously. It's like you have, or for me, I was like I had a free pass because
Yeah.
it's like, well, how else am I going to live with this, you know?
Yeah. Unwilling cat. Which I used when I use pot, I take 2 hits and I'm such a lightweight, even though I've been smoking for 7 years. I don't know. Well, you know, nobody else can know for you, and it's okay. You know, you'll know when you know.
Mm-hmm. Take a
Yeah.
hit for me, Heather.
I'll be honest, the part that I miss most was the growing of it at this point.
Oh,
That's
great.
the part that I miss most right now. Not even the smoking part. Like, I didn't have the budget to be doing what I was doing, but because I could grow so much, that's why I got to that tolerance.
Sometimes when I say I wish, it is more about I wish I did not have the traumatized life, the wasted money, the wasted time. Yeah.
The wasted time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Talk to us, Misha.
I had an epiphany the other day. Whenever I was in my active addiction, I was living my life. There was always a tragedy, which I never even realized until just about the last few months. But there was always something I was trying to overcome. There was always something I was trying to do. Some big battle that I was overcoming. You know, I was being strong and I was doing everything right. But I never thought about the effects, and so I tried to be the best mom in the world. And I was a great mom in a lot of ways.
Right on.
I didn't understand trauma. I didn't understand all of that. And every time I tried to get therapy, there was always something that I would have to run into and something would happen. And I didn't realize the things that I needed to worry about. It was more than just making sure that they had dinner on the table. It was more than just making sure they had clean clothes and that they looked good and that they were well behaved. It was so much more than that to being a parent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Christina, I didn't realize until after I lost her. Some of the things that she was doing, I think she was emulating mom.
Wow.
Mom, though, whenever she started using, was I don't know if you'd call it blessed or not, but the people that surrounded me, they took me in after Mom died. And I felt like I finally belonged, like I fit in somewhere. I wasn't alone. And I was treated like a princess in that world. Crazy, crazy. But I was. Even when I wasn't around them, their effect and who they were still lingered on me, and people didn't mess with me. And so I got this, different kind of a feeling and a different, and I think Christina saw that. And I think that whenever she didn't have anybody, she tried to be that. But the thing is, those people weren't there anymore. They don't exist in that world, at least not where she was.
Yeah.
There's more of the people that are on TV, the bad people, the horrible people that don't have care for anybody. And that's what she was around. And I think she was trying to emulate me, because that's how Mom survived. Was she took control of things, and she didn't let things get her down. But I don't know if that's part of it. And then, of course, there is the addiction itself, But I think that we don't realize when we're in this, even if we're recovering, because they all saw me recover, and they all thought, and this is the epiphany, they all saw Mom go through all that, and yet still she was able to overcome and become a district manager, which, is not great, but that's not bad compared to where we were. They got to see her go to college. They got to see her thrive.
Right on.
And I think that Christina might have thought, she overcame and she was no longer addicted. And so I can overcome my addiction too someday. Just overcoming our addictions could be something that we place on our kids.
Yeah.
And the stuff that's out there is not the same as it was. And
No,
all of us say
it is a whole different world.
Yeah.
So scary.
And we say, how come you can't get off of this? How come you don't want to go to rehab? How come you don't want to just stop? How come? We did it. We were able to overcome. We were able to become in recovery. Why can't you? Why can't you just get off of it? Why can't you just want to get off of it? And the thing is, and this I've known for a while, nobody wants to be the zombies that this shit creates. Nobody wants to be on camera for the world to see, leaning over, spazzed out. Nobody wants to put something in their arms that is creating erosion. As they're putting it in their arms, you have no arm. Nobody wants to live that. Do you think that these people that are in active addiction really want to be there? And so in that itself, and then we put even more on them, because, they're out there, they don't have a job, they don't have a way to do anything. Well, you just need to go get a damn job. You're just lazy. They're not being lazy. They have no address. They have no phone number, which I just found out that the post office offers homeless post office boxes. I just found this out.
Okay.
More to come on that. More to come on that, because that's important. I've been homeless, when you don't have a house to stay in, and you fill out this application, and then the person is doing their follow-ups to see, you don't have an address to put on there. Well, that person's not going to be looked at any further than there. You don't have a phone number that you can call and directly speak to them. It's always being stolen. Christina, her phone was always broken, but I never put two and two together. The fact that throughout 8-9 years, her phone was always broken, but it was always broken the same way, even though it was a different phone. It always had to be on speaker. She was always telling me that she was going to go get her driver's license or her social security card. And I just thought she was just she wasn't consistent like her mom. She was forgetting crap all the time. But she wasn't, though. Somebody was taking it from her.
Oh.
And it shouldn't be nothing. But when the cop told me that her driver's license was just laying on her, I envisioned somebody taking it out of their wallet and taking that damn thing and throwing it at her and just flinging it at her. People don't realize the things that our children are going through. We don't see that far. We just see how bad it hurts us. We just see what it's doing to us. We don't think about these children that are in addiction because of the things that we've done. We don't think about that when we're in our active addiction.
Well, and if you live there, Misha, that's like living underwater. You got to come up for air. You got to come up for air to live.
But when there's no dry land, how can you?
I
Love
think that's when
you.
that's when I've had to borrow someone else's island, ask for somebody else's, like when I can't find dry land, it's like I got to ask someone else to borrow theirs.
Still working on that part.
Yeah.
Still working on that, because when you've been a burden your entire life, literally from birth, literally having to be grateful for the air that you breathe because it's not yours, it's hard to go somewhere.
Well, and comes a point when you get to decide that that's a lie too. I did. I just decided, you know what? I'm breathing this air. Deal with it. One of the best things I ever did. It's just tell them whoever didn't like it to deal with it. What's going on, Bruce?
Not much. I hope you can hear me.
A little, yeah, it's a little faint, but yes, I can hear you.
I like the green wall.
Yeah, it's like a built-in green screen you got going on there.
Yeah. Love it.
It's a little hotel,
Okay.
and I'm in the middle. And
Cut out on that last bit there.
I'm in escrow,
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
just waiting for things to happen and get going. So exciting times for me.
Nice.
That is exciting.
Yeah.
It is nerve-wracking also.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's nerve-wracking, isn't it? But,
Too much.
yeah.
Right on.
How do you know how long you're going to have to wait?
Maybe 2 more days.
Oh.
Okay.
And then you get to get the keys and move in?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
Okay. That's amazing.
Yeah. But that's when the contractors have got to come in and do their work.
Okay.
Are
So are
they
you going to
gonna
have to stay there a little while longer?
Yeah, just for a little bit
Okay.
more.
Okay.
But I'm really
Okay.
enjoying the meetings here. It
I'm glad.
really helps my time here.
Good.
And gives a bit of, yeah.
Right on. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
These meetings have saved so many of us. I don't think that you really truly grasp that, Carol, as much as it is. I don't think you ever will be able to, because it's that big.
Wow.
It is that big of an effect.
Thank you.
Yep.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I can be personal testament to that.
Right. The ripples go far beyond that one.
Oh, yeah. The ripples go past every single person that you've helped and that you've saved, but a personal testament, that's for sure. If I didn't find meeting when I did, I don't know where I would be.
Great
I'm
point.
so glad. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you.
I'm so glad all of y'all are
Divine
here.
intervention.
I can't even believe how blessed I am to have all of y'all in my life right now.
Well, you make it very accessible and very easy to speak with and to communicate with everybody. It's very inviting for me. That's why I went on and said, I'm going to do this.
Okay.
Here I am, and so
Here you are.
Here I am.
yeah, I pushed myself in.
I'm so glad you did. I love meeting new people. I love seeing faces of people I've talked with, and yeah.
Yeah.
It is so nice to put faces to names.
Yeah.
Right.
It really is.
Yeah.
Rub it in, y'all. Rub it in.
I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it like that.
Oh,
I'm just taking
goodness.
shit. Oh, that's all.
But that's why the option's always there. We don't have to show
Yeah.
our face, right?
That's right. That's right.
True.
Exactly.
And there are times where I'm like, I'm bawling. You don't get to
I'm
see
doing
my
my
face.
Yeah.
I'm just doing my part. I'm showing I don't have to.
I want to.
So I found something else out.
Okay. Yep.
So you know how the court thing was supposed to have happened on the Tuesday, and then it didn't. I was talking with the
Okay.
victim support specialist person, right? Email.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then I said the last thing I said to him. So then I'm to assume that if I click the link tomorrow morning, because it had been postponed to the next day because they were looking for an attorney because they don't know who was representing him still. This is the man that killed my daughter.
Right.
Supposedly. So, and she never answered me back. And so then that next day I got on at 9:00 and the Zoom meeting to see the court. And I still have yet to hear from her again. Nobody has said anything. And I stayed online, again, attached to the computer. So, you can't go anywhere. You're frozen. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to move wrong. You don't want to, say anything wrong. You don't want to do nothing because you're afraid that it's going to kick it off. And so you're just kind of like hijacked.
Yeah.
I turned it off. I don't know, about 2:45, somewhere around there. Finally, I just quit. Still have not heard anything, even though I've sent full messages. Well, Bradley saw last night where he is pleading for insanity. He did find a new attorney that is represent him, and he's going to plead for insanity. And I'm very, very angry about to do what you did to some women.
He can
and plea insanity. If somebody wants
to do that, but it doesn't mean he's going to get it.
Right.
Yeah, that'll be up to doctors.
There has to be a lot of things.
I think personally, I want to
for
face
people
them.
to actually get an insanity.
Yeah.
For people to actually get an insanity plea, though, they're not just going to go, oh, "Okay, yeah, you were insane."
They have to assess, don't they?
Yeah. Oh,
They
yeah.
do a lot of testing, quite a bit of testing.
And also, the consequence of pleading insanity and getting it are not good. Like, mental institutions are worse
in a
than
mental
jail.
institution for the criminally insane. Yeah, that doesn't sound great.
Yeah.
So
I think it got to me because it's like, I'm crazy too. I'm crazy doing that. And you don't get to take what you did your ass and blame it off on that. I don't think that's right.
Yeah.
And I want to face him now. I didn't want to face him before he was face him. I want to face his ass and say, look, you need to own it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bradley just brought it back to me, reminded me, because I just, it's just, we all do our things. We all have to own up to our responsibilities. And I just don't think I'll face him.
Well, he's in the justice system.
Eye to eye.
And he's not going to get away from that process. Yeah, he's not going to get away from that process.
No.
He is going to have to face some things.
Yeah. It sounds like it's a survival mode on top of survival mode on top of survival mode right now.
Yeah.
And dealing with a lot
on top of survival mode.
Crap on top of, yes.
Exactly. Like you need to come up for air somewhere.
On top of crap.
Yeah.
And the C word, that's putting it nicely. I was just trying to be like PG.
Right. PG.
Yeah.
He's nice. That's what I wish everything was with PG. Okay, so here's a picture of me. It's not, you get a face.
Right on.
Nice.
So good to see your face.
Wait, are you on the right or in the middle? Are you in the right or on the middle?
I'm in the middle. I'm the one kissing the Just for Men advertisement.
You're in the middle. Okay.
You go, girl.
That's me.
It is unfair, Zelda.
Yeah.
Zelda says it's so unfair that you have to deal with him trying that. It is unfair.
My whole epiphany was just the things that we. Yeah.
And I know that was
just the disrespect of not saying anything to me about it. I'm
Well,
sorry,
and
Ben, go ahead.
I know that was one of the things that Tommy talked about and at great length, that people think if you get an insanity plea that it's, it's kind of like one of the givens on the street that, oh, it's cushy. And it's like, no, it's not. It
Mm-mm.
really isn't. And if you aren't
Mm-mm.
nuts, you will be after you're done with it.
Mhm.
Type of thing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you might want to, you might want to shoot him a message next
Mhm.
meeting, 'cause I'm pretty sure he can go into it again. Um, yeah, it's
Yeah.
not
But it's not even that
what
so much.
a
It's
lot of
just the
people.
fact that he doesn't get to, for me personally, is he doesn't get to throw it off as something that he was just insane because, he's already getting
Hmm.
second degree instead of first. And
Yeah.
he doesn't get to, it's right for him to think that he can just play it off on insanity whenever that was happened on the day after Christmas. Then she went through 2 days of torture because when I talked to her on the 24th, he was taking her away. He was dragging her away from the phone. And so I really think that the whole thing's botched up, and I really think that it happened 24th, but that just adds to the case, right? Because if that's the case, then for 2 days, I don't think I don't see how that would be an insane go back and to threaten the girl was the witness to the point for 7 months until he finally, I don't
Hmm.
see where 7 months worth of insanity would last.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't see
You
a
know,
doc. I don't think
he
a doc will buy that either.
you can't just
No.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're
and how
pretty
would they to
adept at
give
being
restraining
able to
orders
assess
and to do
those
wellness checks on him.
things. Mm.
Because
Yeah.
it's not the institution,
They're
it's not
pretty
the,
adept at,
it's not the him losing his life. Do what?
it's not the what?
It's not him, like the death
It's not
penalty.
the
That's
what?
not what I'm after. I'm not the one to judge.
Okay.
Are y'all losing me? Am I
Okay.
cutting out?
No. I don't. You're fine.
Oh,
I
there's
just
asking.
didn't. It for some reason just wasn't clear what you said there at the last.
Okay, I don't the death penalty for him. It's not my place to judge that. But I
Okay.
do want him to look at himself and to look and see what he took away. The at least 2 lives that he took away from this world who will never be able to see this world or to finish out their lives according to what they wanted to do. I want him to be able to look at
Mm-hmm.
himself in the mirror and see that. And I don't think that looking
And hopefully he will.
himself in the mirror and seeing himself as crazy would do. Because I look in the mirror every single
Right.
moment of my life and see what I did.
Mm.
I would not want him to use that as an excuse.
But that's not why I come on. I come
Oh, I
on.
did it because of.
Yeah. Thank you. That's it right there.
Yeah. That's it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to romanticize
Didn't mean
the
Well,
idea of being
he
insane.
won't either way. He won't get out of the process. He will not get out
No,
of the
I really
process
did.
of being tried.
Good point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
And to be
How
honest,
they're
if we want to
not
work,
doing any kind of communication with me about it.
that's where I'm confused too. That is where I'm confused too.
Yeah.
But
But would they true?
my whole point was just the
would
addiction thing. I
be-
was getting way off topic with it, and I'm sorry. But
Well, and
the addiction aspect of it is
will you let us try to do something? See if there's something that we can do to help you not. Do you want to be in that situation that you're in? The every 2 hours. Do you want that?
Mm.
Is that what you want for your life? Is that what you want to be living with?
well, I mean, the whole reason that I was just to talk about, the fact that we as parent addicts put on our children. That's the reason I wanted to come on here.
Oh, okay.
The other is pretty much everywhere all the time. It's just part of life.
If you were
But
to
the
choose,
reason that I come
if you
on
were
was
to
just wanted to
choose,
know.
well, I want to talk about the thing that you can't leave for whatever reason. If you did have a choice, what would be the ideal situation for you to be living in? If you had the choice and you could do it, what would that look like?
Ideal situation would be to be able to do what I need to do for my kids.
Okay.
The strength every day.
I love you, Carol.
Right on. And do you feel like you can't do that right now?
That's the reason I come on. I
Is
just,
this
with
is it the situation that makes that seem like not a possibility?
they go hand in hand, obviously.
Okay.
But all I can do is focus on what can be done.
Okay.
And right now, there's nothing that can be done on that.
But if you were to be able to do what you needed to do, to not have to be around that, do you have any idea what that would look like at all?
Not really.
Okay. That's fair. But I mean, it is something to think about, because if you can see it, maybe it can be,
I do.
and maybe that's the thing that needs to happen, is the identifying of what needs to be, because that just sounds untenable. That just sounds like no way to live.
Miserable. Yeah.
It sounds like there's so much going on. It's like knowing that you need a bunch of things, but you're like, I don't know what I need first. Like someone asks you,
Yeah.
what can I do to help? And you're like, I don't even know it. I used to be a waitress. For 10 years, I did that. And it's like when you get in the weeds so hard, your manager comes over, or my manager would come over. What do you need? I'm like, I don't even know. In the beginning, when I first started, I didn't even know what I needed when I got so busy. But then with time, it seems like at least you know what you need. Or at least I knew what I needed, so I could ask for help over time. And it's been that way in my recovery too.
It's being ever mindful and appreciating everything, whether, even if it's not great, there's still good that you can appreciate. And that's what you have to be mindful of. Mindful of the fact that any moment you could slip, any moment. Even when it's good times, you could slip.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, just as easy
to realize, but the thing is
easy when times are good and times are easy too. Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah. Then, there's always precursor upon precursor upon precursor. And that's the thing about the being ADHD neurodivergent self that I am, is it leaves me in freeze mode. And I'm always on the lookout for what's going to. And then I cause things to happen because I'm always on the lookout. We could do a whole week-long show just on Mish's craziness, because of that. Trying to find that fine line. And, you just want to find in your life, no matter how crap it is, you just want to find that where you're not walking on the tightrope, you're walking on the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's a time thing, like with time, I've found stability. Now, I'm not saying I'm necessarily like secure or exactly where I want to be, but I'm like way more stable because I've given certain things time and also put a lot of work into my recovery and my mental health. It's made a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's finding the right people. And that's, if like Alice, if I had a world of my own, then I would have it filled with people that are like what, do as you say, or, treat everybody like your neighbor.
Yeah.
I can't even talk right now.
I know.
But basically, I try to put out there what I would like to be and what I would like to see.
Yeah.
And that's how
yeah.
I keep the faith that things are going to be. But throughout, whenever you've had nothing but crap,
Yeah.
you just jump to the next pile of crap.
I'm
And
sorry.
that's where the trust is. That's where I used to could do it on my own kind of thing. And I always thought that I could. But then I would just, give in and be like, no, it's finally here. And then I would see things like limerence almost in people. And then my checklist of what I thought they were doesn't equal up to what they turn out to be. And whose fault is that? It's not their fault. It's my fault for thinking things that weren't. And here I'm going crazy, so I just need to stop talking.
If I can comment on one thing I just heard you say, Misha, would that be okay?
Yeah, please do. Please.
In terms of jumping from one pile of crap to another, it's like I used to do the same thing and I didn't even see what was coming. And eventually it's like, you know what? I'm tired of this. I'm not taking crap anymore. But I had to reach out, like you said, I had to reach out to the right people to teach me what I didn't know, because I didn't know all I knew was I didn't want any more crap. But I had to make the decision to decide to stop taking the crap and then open myself up to learning from people who knew what they were talking about.
But Tara, I was that person too. And the places that I thought that I was doing that, those were the places that become more crap. And so I'm not saying for you, but I'm saying in my experiences, it was just, there was so much crap. And it was in the places that wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
The places that I thought was helping were the places that were causing more crap. I go to get help because things are horrible that are happening to my children and I end up getting arrested.
Wow.
Or I'm trying to get my children therapy for things that have happened to them before I do things, because I think that their therapy is more important than anybody's restitution. And I get arrested.
Wow, Misha.
And then my children have to go through explaining what happened to them over and over again. And never, not one time did the person get taken in. They're still there to laugh.
Oh man.
Boy.
That's the crap.
Man.
That's on another
that I've jumped
level.
from place to place.
That is.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
And so, that makes it hard. That makes it really, really hard. And so, like I said, if I had a world of my own, I would fill it with people like me. I thought that I could do it on my own, and I thought that I could do it, and I thought that I knew everything. And I still, to this day, I'm realizing that I know nothing. All the experience that I thought I had, all the knowledge that I thought I had. It sucks when you're at the end of it.
Yeah. I've been in that place. It's a pretty precarious and often lousy feeling place. But it's a good place, really, because if you think you've got it figured out and what is there to learn?
Yeah, that's very true.
Yep.
It's very true.
This is a great place to cry.
Yeah, it is. I've done more crying since I've gone online public.
I can burst easily myself. It's too hard.
Yeah.
It's just, I wish that the world would understand that, everybody is going through crap.
Right.
Why do we have to make it harder on everybody? Because, that's why I love this place, because it's like we're gathering this in the boat, we're gathering people, we're gathering love, we're gathering the right people together. Finally, we have a place to come to where that we know. I feel a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah.
It just sucks that it's not here in our own non-virtual.
Yeah.
So much. It's virtual still, and that part's, but at least we're being connected to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to read the comments at all, Misha?
It's hard for me to focus.
Okay. Well, I want to read some of these to you.
Okay.
To you. Zelda says, please, Misha, keep us posted on how you're doing and feeling. No apologies. We want
Shadow
to be
sister.
here for you, no matter what you're feeling. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Kristen
That's my
Melinda
shadow
says,
sister.
no fault. It's just what your mind did to deal with things. That's the truth.
Crazy.
That's a good one.
And
That is.
then Mrs. D says, you don't have to do it alone anymore. You don't.
And that feels good. It's one of those,
Yeah.
I want it so bad. And I mean it whenever I say it to people. It's hard to get it in return, to get your brain to, and I don't know. I think I'm not alone in this.
Misha,
I
I'm
think
nodding
that-
like viciously. You know how hard it is for me to take
Yeah.
any sort of help back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You saw me first in the beginning there too. It is so hard.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you
But my God, look how flourishing you are. So that's a great example.
see?
Yeah.
So that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
it
I'm not
is.
trying to toot my own horn, because believe me, I still don't believe I've made it very far yet. But
Toot, toot, woman. Toot, toot.
Yeah.
Same. I haven't been around that long, but I can see growth in you as well, Stacia.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Misha, I just reach out to any one of us. Any one of us.
Yeah.
We are here.
Yeah.
And if one isn't available, instead of having a top 5, you've got how many people we got here right now? We have 17 right now. You got a top 17 right now. You message any of us.
Mhm.
You message any of us. One might be busy, but somebody else won't be.
Mhm.
I've got
Henny says you can visit that place, but you can't stay. And Seventh Son, we love you. We love you and got you. Just reach out. Let us help. Let us make it better.
Yeah.
And Ms. D, maybe your work is to feel and process. Yeah.
Mm.
Henny, we love
Oh,
you,
yeah.
Misha. Miss Sunrise Dawn, we have your back, Misha, sending you the biggest hugs.
Mhm.
So yeah, you don't have
It's
to,
just-
you don't have to hold the world up. You're not Atlas.
Right? Could you imagine? Yeah, I can. And that's just a small bit of it.
the Wonder Woman. Yeah.
No, now I wonder where I put my keys. I wonder where I put my glasses, my phone, and I don't even have to go anywhere. It's pretty bad when you lose crap and you only go 4 feet around.
Oh, I wonder who.
Right?
That's great.
Why couldn't I have chosen somebody else as my hero back in the day?
Your sense of humor is a strength now. Oh, you put your name as Ned. Yes, that's awesome. And your sense of humor is
I thought you might like that.
a strength. I want to commend your sense of humor.
Well, I mean, even when things are at the lowest, and I can vouch for the lowest for me, and there's still beauty there. There's still
Right
beauty.
on.
You just got to have
That's
your eyes
amazing.
open to see it. You just got to keep your eyes open.
Mhm.
Don't settle for this shit, because it's going to stay shit no matter what if you don't start looking for the good in it. And if you can't see the good in your life when it's good, then by God, you're going to really struggle whenever it doesn't seem so good.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that's kept me through everything. And my daughter, my oldest one, we were driving to the cemetery one day and I didn't know how to answer, because she said, Mom, I don't know how to feel with this. I don't know how to deal with this, because we just come back and her Christina's bench had been taken.
Okay.
And I was feeling
Right.
very, very low. We got the police report that day. There was nothing on it. Even the lady who's now no longer with us on this world, her name was redacted on the police report. There was nothing. And I'd paid $20 that I did not have to get that police report. And we got it that day and we read it. And it was just more let down. Then we go to the cemetery. The bench is gone, which, by the way, I think we found
Okay. Wow.
But yeah, that's a whole nother thing. But it was a really, really low moment, and we were driving, and she said, "Mom, how do you do it? How do you stay so positive still through all this crap? How do you stay so positive? Because I'm having trouble with it." And I didn't have an answer for her.
Do you feel like you're closer to one now?
Oh, I found one. I just looked into her eyes.
Right on.
There's always something, and that is more strong than anything that we go through. But we just got to realize it. We've just got to look at it. We have to embrace it. When I feel my craziest, I think of my girls. When I feel my craziest, now I'm starting to think of you guys.
Right on. Love you, Misha.
Mm-hmm.
I love y'all.
Yeah. Love you too.
I'm going to bounce because there's going to be some heavy crying and some ugly snottiness. So
Nice. Very nice.
I love y'all.
Love you too.
Ned says peace, y'all.
It's all healthy.
Well, has everybody had a meeting, or does anybody need a meeting for anything?
Well, this was my first, and I'm certainly hope I'm allowed to come back.
Absolutely.
I've always got things to talk about myself, so.
Okay, right on.
Perfect.
It is, Miss Sunrise Dawn. It is disrespectful. Unbelievable. You just wonder. It makes you wonder. Well, I'm seeing some threes here. Heather, have fresh baked bread. Oh, yes.
Ooh.
Well, I certainly feel like cleanse your soul and let those tears clean. Yes, seventh
Yes.
son.
Yes.
Yeah,
Very cleansing to get it all out.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Then take a shower.
Mm.
That can help a little bit. Makes you feel good.
Exactly. Little
So-
self-care.
Little self-care. Yes, ma'am. I like that.
Hi, Crystal. Good to see you. Thank you guys. Whew. Wow, you guys.
How you feeling, Carol?
I'm okay.
You're okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
How's the Carroll farm doing?
Well, did you catch the beginning of the meeting?
I'll have
Well,
to go back.
Lucy has a new home.
Who's Lucy?
Lucy is the puppy I wanted to keep. She's the last
Okay,
puppies.
okay.
And over the last few days, I've been realizing it. I can't really justify having 3 guardian dogs for this little bitty farm operation that I have here. And it's almost like not fair to her that she doesn't really get to come into her own and develop who she's going to be as a guardian dog, because she's got mom and dad to bounce off of. The person that got her had messaged me about a month ago almost, and she lost one of her guardians recently, riddled with cancer. The other one, the brother of that one, had some kind of weird fungus that caused his internal organs to necrotize.
Oh,
And and so little Lucy at first was a little wary around her, but then when she came into the actual fence, instead of coming to me, well, she went up to smell of her, to sniff her, and then instead of coming to me, she started going to the lady, and she'd go away, and then she'd go back to the lady. So I thought, okay, all right,
Fine.
Got
you know.
good connection, maybe.
Yeah.
That's
And
well,
the
it's good.
lady has a sanctuary, an animal sanctuary.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I feel good about every puppy, all 6 puppies. They all have good homes and they're going to have their jobs. These are the kind of dogs that need a job, and they're going to have their jobs. And so, but I was crying a good bit this afternoon.
I
Aw.
hear ya.
And Mama and
The little
Daddy
fur
over there are a
babies.
little sad. They're kind of mopey over there. I've been looking at them.
Aw.
Yeah.
They just need extra snuggles from you then.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
You
give
do
them
to
some
us,
extra
Mom.
snuggles. Yeah.
Aw.
Heather, I have 10 acres. I have 32 goats at the moment, a pig, 2 cows, a donkey, 4 dogs. I'm down to 4 dogs. One of them is a senior. She was the guardian. She used to be my brother's dog, and he abandoned her when he abandoned the farm, or when he left the farm. And she adopted us and came with us here to Elkins, and she knows where she belongs now, and that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
Hello, Snow White.
it's actually Misha. Like, good to know.
Hey,
Oh, okay. I forgot.
Well, y'all, I'm gonna hop off, but it has been a pleasure speaking with you all as always.
Yeah,
And
yeah, good speaking with you.
Yes.
right on, right. I hope to talk to y'all soon.
Yes. And if we don't see you Tuesday, hopefully soon after.
I know. I'm gonna try to work in it. I just, I hate to make promises that I can't deliver on, but I think it's gonna work out. So hopefully I see you. And if I don't, I'll see
Okay.
you soon after.
Perfect. Bye.
Sounds great.
See ya.
nice to meet you.
Likewise. Thank you.
I do need to ask what Henny asked. What would you say, something like, how's the donkey doing?
The donkey, yeah.
Yeah, how's the butt
The
behavior?
donkey I think he's starting to settle down again, hopefully.
Okay,
So far, so good the last couple of days.
so he hasn't had his tree shook yet.
They really don't call him the A word for nothing.
Well, yeah,
I love them. I love them.
Yeah. I love mine too. I really
They're the
do.
best things in the world. They have great
Yeah,
great
they really
connection to humanity, and I've seen some wonderful
Mhm.
videos of some connections between a human and a donkey. They haven't seen each other for like maybe
Yeah.
months. Oh my Lord. It's beautiful.
Good seeing you, Tara. Dear donkey.
That's my donkey. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, right on.
Donkey.
Well, y'all, I want to get out there and love on those pups. Poor things.
well, you go out and you do that, and you make sure the donkey knows who in the heck he's effing with, and
Yes.
you just lay it down, and I don't
Lay
know.
down the donkey rules.
I don't
Yeah.
know what's with, and I don't think it's just your donkey. I think ass hattery in general is our
Yeah.
ass haberdashery. I don't know, but yeah, ass hattery is definitely becoming far more common these days. So, yeah, I think you would feel better if you were just to nip that in the bud, and it might have global just think of the global awakening this could cause.
Right? Funny.
That's all I got. What do you expect from me? But
Gobbledygook.
I do hope you have yourself a most awesome day, people, and
Hope you do
hope you're
too.
all able to behave. And
Good to see you, Ben.
good to see you. Take care. I can find the switch.
Bye-bye, everyone.
It's really nice to meet you, Bruce.
Thank you, and I'll see if I can pop in later on. Thank you very
That would
much.
be great.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And I'll head out here too, Carol. You go take care of those pups, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Okay. Love you.
Love ya. Bye.
Bye. Great meeting, you guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much for making this community the awesome place it is. I know I say that a lot, but I mean it every time I say it. It's you guys who make this place the wonderful place that it is, where we can come and we can unburden ourselves and maybe laugh a little even, and talk about what's real, what's going on, and anyway, I hope to see you again next meeting. And until then, peace, y'all.